Stop, hold everything, drop whatever you're doing and clear your mind, because we are about to blow the lid off one of the biggest mysteries in modern pop culture. You see them everywhere, on giant billboards in Times Square, on the covers of the world's most prestigious magazines, and dominating your social media feed 24/7 with their flawless visuals and gravity-defying choreography. But let's get real for a second. Behind the flashing lights, the multi-million-dollar brand deals, and the sea of purple lights, who are these 7 guys when they finally step into the comfort of their own dorms? Are they really the untouchable gods the media portrays? Or is there a chaotic, relatable, and slightly weird reality hiding just beneath that 4K polished surface? We've all seen the music videos where every hair is in place and every move is calculated to perfection. But today, we're tossing that script into the trash can. We are going on a deep dive mission to uncover the true DNA of BTS, analyzing everything from their most unhinged live streams where they clearly forgot they were the most famous people on the planet, to the whispered stories from staff members who see them at their absolute limit. We're talking about the raw, the unfiltered, and the "I can't believe they just did that" moments that happen when the makeup comes off and the cameras are supposed to be dark. Is the leader actually a clumsy genius who can't be trusted with a toaster? Is the world's most handsome man secretly the most selfless big brother in the industry? Or is it all just a masterclass in professional PR? We're looking for the heart, the humor, and the genuine souls behind the idol mask to find out who really stays grounded when the whole world is screaming their names. This isn't your typical shiny documentary. This is a high-speed, slightly comedic, and deeply reflective journey into the personalities that make these 7 men feel less like distant stars and more like your chaotic best friends who just happen to have a private jet. We've analyzed years of data, from the way they treat security guards in foreign airports to the tiny, subtle gestures of kindness they think no one is watching. Is there a secret hierarchy? Who is the most different when the stage lights fade? We're about to explore the emotional depth and the hilarious quirks that prove why these guys are more than just a boy band. Get ready to have your curiosity piqued and your bias list potentially shaken to its core as we reveal the absolute truth about who is the most genuine member of the group. And trust me, the answer might just surprise you more than a surprise comeback announcement at midnight. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the soul of Bangtan. Number 7. The Clumsy Leader, Intellectual Destruction. So who are we starting this legendary countdown with? None other than the man, the myth, the accidental destroyer of worlds, Kim Namjoon, better known as RM. Now imagine this for a second. You're at the United Nations, the room is filled with world leaders, and everyone is silent as a young man with incredible poise and a voice like smooth mahogany delivers a speech that moves millions to tears. You'd think, wow, this guy has it all figured out. He's basically a superhuman. But then, the cameras turn off, he walks backstage, and within 5 minutes he's probably tripped over a flat surface or accidentally snapped his own sunglasses in half. That, my friends, is the peak Kim Namjoon experience and the very first reason why he is one of the most genuine souls in the industry. We are talking about a man with a genius-level IQ of 148, someone who can dissect Carl Jung's theories and write lyrics that feel like a warm hug for your soul. Yet, he is legally prohibited by his own members from ever stepping foot in a kitchen because he's a walking hazard to himself and others. Remember that iconic moment in Run BTS where he was trying to cut an onion and it looked like he was trying to solve a complex math equation with a chainsaw? That wasn't a script. That was the pure, unfiltered reality of a man whose brain is moving at 200 miles per hour while his hands are just trying to keep up. The God of Destruction nickname isn't just for show, it's a lifestyle. From breaking floor lamps just by breathing near them, to losing over 30 pairs of AirPods. Yes, you heard that right, 30. Namjoon doesn't hide his flaws. In a world of idols who are trained to look perfect 24/7, Namjoon is out here losing his passport in Northern Europe and having to fly home early while his members continue their vacation. It's hilarious, it's chaotic, but most importantly, it's real. He doesn't try to maintain this untouchable genius image. He lets us see the guy who gets genuinely excited about finding a tiny crab on a beach, or the guy who spends his weekends namjooning, which is basically his way of saying he's wandering through museums and parks because he needs to escape the pressure of being a global icon. He's a philosopher in a rapper's body, a man who reads heavy literature on high-speed trains, but also gets incredibly pouty when he can't get a Pokemon bread sticker. But let's get into the deep stuff, the real reason why he's on this list. Staff members often talk about how Namjoon is the first to arrive and the last to leave, often staying behind to apologize for any small mistakes he thinks he made. He carries the weight of being the group's spokesperson, the bridge between Korea and the West, and the pressure of translating the complex feelings of 7 men into a foreign language on the fly. You can see the gears turning in his head during every interview, the way he carefully chooses his words to protect his brothers. Yet, when he's with the members, he's just Junie, the big brother who gets teased relentlessly and takes it all with a dimpled smile. He's incredibly vulnerable about his own identity crisis, often questioning if he's RM or Namjoon, and he shares that struggle through his solo music like Mono and Indigo. He doesn't give you a fake answer, he gives you his raw thoughts. There's something so incredibly human about a leader who is okay with saying, "I don't know the answer," or "I'm scared too." He's the guy who will write a song about the deep loneliness of fame and then go on a live stream and accidentally spoil the group's entire comeback plan because he got too excited talking to fans. He is the definition of a clumsy genius, someone whose intellect is intimidating, but whose heart is so accessible and fragile that you can't help but want to protect him. His genuineness isn't just in his honesty, it's in his willingness to be a work in progress. He doesn't pretend to be a finished product. He's an eternal student of life, constantly growing, constantly breaking things, and constantly rebuilding himself into something even more beautiful. Whether he's giving a speech at the UN or trying to figure out how to put together a piece of IKEA furniture for 3 hours, Namjoon is consistently, unapologetically himself. He's the anchor that keeps BTS grounded, not because he's perfect, but because he's the most beautifully human person in the room. He teaches us that you can be brilliant and still be a mess. You can be a leader and still need help. And you can be a global superstar and still just want to look at some art and ride a bicycle. That's the true power of RM. He makes the extraordinary feel ordinary and the ordinary feel like a piece of art. And let's be honest, who else could pull off losing their passport in the middle of a world tour and still make it look like a profound life lesson? Only Namjoon, the man who destroyed the perfect idol stereotype one broken pair of sunglasses at a time. He's the start of our list because without his raw, intellectual, and incredibly clumsy authenticity, the world of BTS just wouldn't have the same soul. It's the duality that makes him a legend, the leader who can change the world, but still needs someone to help him find his phone, which is literally in his hand. Now that's what I call a genuine king. Number 6. The worldwide confidence, hidden sacrifice. Now, moving up our list, we have to talk about the man who literally reinvented the concept of self-love before it was even a trend. None other than the worldwide handsome himself, Kim Seok-jin. If you've ever seen a BTS red carpet, you know exactly who he is. He's the one who steps out of the car, blows a flying kiss that could stop traffic, and declares himself a masterpiece without a single hint of hesitation. But wait! Before you think this is just a case of an overinflated idol ego, let's peel back that incredibly symmetrical skin and look at what's actually going on inside the mind of the eldest member. Jin is perhaps the most fascinating psychological study in the group because his entire narcissistic persona is actually a brilliantly crafted tool used to make everyone else feel comfortable. Think about it. As the taehyung, or the eldest brother, the traditional Korean hierarchy would usually demand that he be strict, serious, and respected. But Jin looked at that rulebook and threw it out the window. He chose to become the fake maknae, the one who makes the dad jokes, the one who laughs like a windshield wiper at his own puns, and the one who lets the younger members tease him relentlessly. Why? Because he realized early on that if the eldest member is approachable and a bit of a goofball, the atmosphere for the entire group becomes lighter. That is the definition of a genuine, selfless leader who doesn't even need the title. Behind those jokes about being worldwide handsome, there is a man who entered the industry as an acting student with zero background in singing or dancing. While the other members were already prodigies, Jin had to start from below ground level. We're talking about a guy who practiced his dance moves in front of a mirror until he could barely stand, all while maintaining a smile so he wouldn't worry the others. His genuineness is found in his refusal to show the struggle. He once said that if he works hard and people see the effort, it makes them feel burdened, so he prefers to show only the bright side. That is a level of emotional maturity that is rare in any industry, let alone the cutthroat world of K-pop. But don't let the jokes fool you. When Jin released his solo song Abyss, the world finally saw the raw, vulnerable side of Kim Seok-jin. He opened up about his feelings of burnout and questioning whether he deserved the massive success BTS had achieved. It was a shocking moment of honesty that proved his happy-go-lucky vibe isn't a lack of depth, it's a choice. He chooses happiness like a professional athlete chooses a training regimen. And let's talk about his Eat Jin era. While most idols were obsessed with strict diets and looking skeletal for the cameras, Jin was out here doing live streams just to show himself devouring huge plates of food, making weird clicking noises, and genuinely enjoying life. He made it okay for fans to love eating again. Staff members frequently share stories of how Jin is the most polite and observant person on set. If a staff member looks tired, he's the one who cracks a joke to wake them up. If a member is feeling down, he's the one who initiates a chaotic bickering session to distract them from their stress. He's also a low-key gaming addict who will spend 16 hours playing MapleStory or League of Legends, screaming at the computer screen just like any other normal guy. There's no idle filter when Jin is gaming, he's just a guy who hates losing. Even his enlistment into the military was handled with such quiet, humble dignity. No big fanfare, just a shaved head and a promise to do his best. He didn't ask for special treatment, he just became an elite soldier, proving that his discipline isn't just for the stage. His true personality is a blend of a protective older brother, a hilarious comedian, and a deeply sensitive artist who values the group's harmony over his own pride. He uses his confidence as a shield for his brothers and his humor as a bridge to his fans. He's the guy who will walk onto a global stage and do a goofy dance just to make his members laugh, knowing full well it might end up as a meme forever. That's the Jin brand of authenticity, being so secure in who you are that you aren't afraid to look ridiculous for the sake of someone else's smile. He is the heart of Bangtan's resilience, the one who reminds them that at the end of the day, it's just music, it's just a show, and what matters is the people you're with. To see the real Kim Seok-jin is to see a man who is worldwide handsome on the outside, but worldwide heart on the inside. He's the guy who will cook a full meal for the members and then pretend he didn't do much, the guy who will stay up late to practice a single high note until it's perfect, and the guy who will always make sure you've eaten. He is a master of emotional labor, taking on the role of the mood maker so no one else has to. And let's not forget his legendary Woodeo era, where he became best friends with a cartoon astronaut. Only Jin could make a marketing campaign feel like a genuine whimsical friendship. He is a breath of fresh air in an industry that often takes itself too seriously. Whether he's bickering with Jungkook like they're both 5 years old, or giving a heartfelt speech about the importance of loving yourself, Jin is consistently, hilariously, and touchingly real. He teaches us that confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to be the punchline of the joke if it means the room stays bright. Now that is a true king of authenticity, windshield wiper laugh and all.
Number 5. The Savage Producer, Silent Guardian. Get ready to turn down the lights and crank up the intensity because we are diving deep into the soul of the man who redefined the word cool for an entire generation, none other than Min Yoongi, the legendary Suga. Now, if you're just a casual observer, you probably see Suga as the savage king of the group, the guy who looks like he'd rather be sleeping in a dark room than standing under $1 million spotlight, and the one who famously said he wants to be reborn as a rock so he wouldn't have to move a single muscle in his next life. But let me tell you, that don't care vibe is just the tip of a very deep, very complex, and very genuine iceberg. You see, Min Yoongi is the living embodiment of the tsundere trope. He's that guy who will act like he's totally annoyed that you're breathing his air, but then silently buy you your favorite drink and leave it on your desk without saying a single word. That is the true Min Yoongi DNA. Behind that slightly intimidating, cat-like exterior is a man whose work ethic is so intense it would make a NASA engineer feel like a slacker. While most people are tucked in bed, Yoongi is usually locked in his genius lab until 6 a.m., battling his own demons and crafting the beats that eventually shake the world's stadium speakers. His genuineness isn't found in flashy smiles or forced energy, it's found in his brutal, bone-chilling honesty. This is the man who stood up in an industry that demands perfection and sang about his struggles with social anxiety, depression, and the soul-crushing reality of fame in his August D mixtapes. He didn't do it for clout. He did it because he literally couldn't be anything other than real. Think about his backstory for a second. A kid from Daegu who moved to Seoul with nothing but a dream and a laptop, working part-time as a delivery driver just to pay for his music equipment, and getting into a horrific accident that shattered his shoulder. For years, he hid that pain from everyone, even his members, because he didn't want to be a burden. That kind of quiet, sacrificial strength is exactly what makes him so authentic. He's not a star because he wants the fame. He's a star because he has something to say that might save someone's life. And can we talk about his grandpa energy? It's absolutely hilarious to watch him during Run BTS when the younger members are literally bouncing off the walls like they've had 10 shots of espresso, and Yoongi is just standing there with a face that says, "I am too old for this nonsense." Yet he still participates in every ridiculous game, even if it means wearing a flower headpiece or acting like a fool just to make the fans laugh. That is a man who knows his role and loves his team more than he loves his own cool image. Staff members have often whispered about how Yoongi is the one who notices when a cameraman is struggling with heavy gear, or when a makeup artist looks faint, quietly offering a hand or a word of encouragement while making sure no one catches him being too nice. He's a man of few words, but massive, soul-shaking actions. His relationship with the members is like the anchor of a ship. He's not always visible above the water, but he's the reason the ship doesn't drift away during a storm. Whether he's bickering with Jin about who's the better fisher, knowing full well he's probably going to lose, or watching Jungkook perform with a look of pure, unadulterated proud dad pride, Yoongi's heart is constantly on display if you know where to look. He's the guy who will cook a 5-course meal for the members on a camping trip and then claim it was no big deal and he just threw it together, even though he was meticulously seasoning everything for 2 hours. And let's not forget his legendary Min PD status. When he works with other artists like IU or Psy, he doesn't walk in with an ego. He walks in as a collaborator who wants to bring out the best in everyone. His genuineness is rooted in his respect for the art of music. He doesn't care about the charts as much as he cares about the message. When he cries on stage, it's not for the cameras. It's the release of a decade of suppressed struggle and the realization that the rock finally found a place where it belongs. He is the definition of still waters run deep. He might not be the loudest person in the room, but his presence is the heaviest. He teaches us that it's okay to be quiet, it's okay to be tired, and most importantly, it's okay to be honest about your pain. He is a fierce protector of his brothers, the silent guardian of the group's integrity, and a man who would literally go to war for the people he loves, all while acting like he'd rather be taking a nap. That, my friends, is the unfiltered, raw, and incredibly endearing reality of Min Yoongi. He is the savage soul with a heart of pure gold, a producer who can see through the noise of the industry to find the truth, and the member who reminds us that being genuine isn't about being loud, it's about being consistent. He's the anchor, the poet, and the accidental comedian who makes the world feel a little bit more real just by being in it. If you ever feel like the world is too fake, just look at Yoongi, the man who will tell it like it is, even if it hurts, and then stay up all night writing a song to help you heal. Now that is a level of authenticity that you just can't manufacture. Number 4. The Golden Bridge, Professional Sunshine. Get ready to turn up the volume and brace yourselves because we are about to step into the dazzling, high-octane, and surprisingly complex world of the man who literally carries the hope of an entire fandom on his shoulders. Yes, we are talking about the one and only Jungkook, the legendary J-Hope. Now, if you've spent even 5 minutes in the world of K-pop, you know his catchphrase, "I'm your hope, you're my hope, I'm J-Hope." It's iconic, it's loud, and it comes with a smile so bright it could probably be seen from the moon. On the surface, Hobie is the ultimate human vitamin, the guy who walks into a room and immediately turns the mood from a rainy Monday to a Saturday night party. But hold on to your light sticks, because the true personality of Jungkook is a fascinating, high-stakes balancing act between a joyful public persona and a disciplined, borderline terrifying perfectionist behind the scenes. You see, while everyone sees the sunshine, the members of BTS see team leader Jung, and let me tell you, that guy is a whole different beast. When the rehearsal room doors close and the music starts, the bubbly J-Hope disappears, and in his place stands the dance captain whose eyes are so sharp they can detect a single pinky finger being 1 centimeter out of sync in a formation of 7 people. The members have openly admitted in countless interviews that while Namjoon is the leader of the group, Hoseok is the leader of the performance, and he is the one they are most afraid of disappointing. Think about that for a second. In a group of global superstars, this man is the ultimate authority on discipline. This isn't because he's a mean guy, but because his respect for the stage is so genuine and so deep that he refuses to give the fans anything less than absolute perfection. His journey started in Gwangju as a street dancer with the crew Neuron, where he wasn't just a dancer, he was a local legend. When he joined Big Hit, he wasn't even a rapper. He learned to rap from scratch just to fit the group's needs, proving that his golden maknae-level versatility is actually the result of insane, relentless hard work. His genuineness is found in this incredible duality. He isn't happy because life is easy. He is happy because he makes a conscious, daily choice to be the light for his brothers. Imagine the mental strength it takes to be the mood maker 24/7, even when you're exhausted, even when your body hurts from 16 hours of dancing, and even when you're facing the immense pressure of a solo debut at Lollapalooza. Speaking of Lollapalooza, that was the moment the world finally saw Jay, the darker, more intense and raw version of Hoseok that had been simmering under the surface. His solo album Jack in the Box was a massive, gritty revelation that he isn't just a sunshine character in a K-drama. He's a complex artist with fears, frustrations, and a drive to break out of the box people put him in. But let's talk about the details that make him so relatable and hilarious. This man is the undisputed king of organization. His suitcases look like they were packed by a professional Tetris player, and his room is always so clean it looks like a showroom. He's the type of guy who will stay up late just to make sure his skincare routine is perfect and his clothes for the next day are laid out. And his reactions? Pure gold. Whether he's screaming at the top of his lungs because a bug flew past him or looking like he's about to faint on a roller coaster, his scaredy cat side is 100% real and unscripted. It makes him so approachable because it shows that even a stage god has relatable fears. Staff members have shared endless stories about his manners. He is notoriously the most polite member, never missing a chance to bow, say thank you, or remember a staff member's name. He treats everyone from the CEO to the person cleaning the stage with the same level of genuine respect. He is the golden bridge of BTS because he connects the hung line and the maknae line, the rap line and the vocal line. He is the one who notices when Jimin is feeling insecure or when Taehyung needs a laugh, and he steps in with exactly what's needed. He is the emotional stabilizer of the group. If the group is a machine, Hobie is the high-quality oil that keeps everything running smoothly without friction. His true personality is a blend of a meticulous architect, a sensitive soul, and a fierce performer. He's the guy who will tease his members relentlessly, but then be the first one to cheer the loudest during their solo stages. To know the real Jungkook is to understand that his hope isn't a mask, it's a mission. He carries the responsibility of being the group's energy source dance with a level of grace that is frankly superhuman. He's a man who values harmony above all else, often sacrificing his own comfort to ensure the team is happy. Whether he's leading a grueling 12-hour dance practice with a stern face or laughing so hard he falls off his chair during a live stream, every version of Hoseok is a piece of a man who is deeply committed to his craft and his family. He teaches us that you can be the most disciplined person in the world and still have a heart of gold. He proves that being bright doesn't mean you aren't deep. He is the backbone of BTS's performance legacy and the heartbeat of their backstage morale. So, next time you see that blinding smile, remember the dance captain who worked until dawn, the organized genius who keeps the group together, and the sensitive artist who bared his soul to the world. He isn't just a sunshine, he is a sun, a powerful, burning, and essential force that keeps the entire Bangtan galaxy in orbit. He is the member of the members, the one even BTS can't imagine living without, and that is as genuine as it gets. Number 3, the angelic heart. Fierce perfectionist. Hold on to your seats because we've just entered the top 3 and things are about to get incredibly emotional and hilariously chaotic all at the same time as we talk about the man who is basically a living, breathing paradox, Park Jimin. Now, if you look at Jimin on stage, you're seeing a literal masterpiece of human movement, a contemporary dance prodigy who moved from Busan to Seoul and managed to debut with the shortest training period in the group because his talent was just that undeniable. When he performs Filter or Lie, he has this piercing gaze that can make a stadium of 50,000 people forget how to breathe. But the second those stage lights dim, he transforms back into the Mochi we all know and love, a tiny, giggling, and incredibly clumsy soul who somehow manages to fall off chairs for no apparent reason. Seriously, how can a man who has the balance of a god while doing a 360-degree flip on stage fail to sit on a stationary piece of furniture during a talk show? That's the Jimin effect in a nutshell, and it's one of the most genuine things about him. Behind that angelic smile and the soft, polite Busan accent lies a man who is arguably his own worst enemy. Jimin's true personality is defined by a level of perfectionism that is honestly a little scary. During their early days, he would stay in the practice room until 4 a.m., sleeping only 2 hours a night because he was terrified of being the weak link in the group's performance. He's the guy who would record a vocal track 50 times and still come out of the booth crying because he felt he missed a single note that literally nobody else in the world could hear. This vulnerability is what makes him so real. He doesn't pretend that being a superstar is easy. He's been incredibly open about his struggles with body image and the intense pressure he puts on himself to be perfect for ARMY. But here's where the angel part comes in. While he is incredibly harsh on himself, he is the softest, most supportive human being to everyone else around him. Whenever a member is crying, Jimin is there. Whenever someone is feeling down during a Run BTS episode, Jimin is the first one to offer a hug or a supportive word. He is the emotional glue of the group, the caretaker who remembers every birthday, every anniversary, and every little detail about his brothers' lives. There's a famous story of him staying by a member's side for hours just to make sure they weren't lonely, and staff members constantly praise him for his manners, often saying he's the most polite idol they've ever met. But let's not forget his savage side. When he's comfortable, Jimin is a master of the playful eye roll and the witty comeback, especially when it comes to bickering with the 95-liner Bestie V, or getting teased about his height by the much taller Namjoon. The 0.1 centimeter height difference drama is a legendary part of BTS lore, and Jimin's indignant reactions are pure comedy gold. He has this way of being both the most intimidating performer and the most protectable person in the room. His genuineness is rooted in his empathy. He feels everything so deeply that it radiates out of him. When he wrote his solo song, Promise, it wasn't just a gift for the fans. It was a letter to himself, a reminder to be kinder to his own heart. He's a man who values connection above all else, often spending hours on Vverse or VLive just chatting with fans like they're his best friends, sometimes even getting a little tipsy and sentimental because he just loves the community so much. He is a perfectionist with a heart of gold, a dancer who moves like water but has a soul as solid as a rock. To know the real Park Jimin is to know a man who will push himself to the absolute limit for his craft, but will drop everything to make sure you're okay. He is the definition of sweet but deadly, a terrifyingly talented artist who will ruin your bias list with one look, but also the guy who will accidentally trip over his own feet while trying to be cool. He is the little prince of BTS, a soulful, hardworking, and deeply loving individual who proves that being the best doesn't mean you have to stop being the kindest. His authenticity is in his struggle, his laughter is our medicine, and his presence is the heartbeat of the group's emotional bond. Whether he's hitting a high note that shatters glass or laughing so hard he disappears from the camera frame, Jimin is always 100% himself, a beautiful, complicated, and incredibly genuine soul who just wants to make the world a little brighter, one dance move at a time. Number 2. The soulful maverick, whimsical reality. Get ready to have your mind absolutely blown, because we have finally reached the penultimate spot on our list, and it belongs to the man who is basically a walking, breathing art gallery with a side of chaotic energy. None other than Kim Taehyung, the legendary V. If you've ever looked at a most handsome faces in the world list, you've seen this man sitting at the top like he owns the place, looking like a Renaissance sculpture come to life with a jawline that could honestly cut glass. But here is the secret that makes V one of the most genuinely fascinating human beings on the planet. He has absolutely no idea, or perhaps he just doesn't care, that he's one of the most beautiful people to ever exist. While most idols with his visuals would be terrified of making a weird face or messing up their hair, Taehyung is out here making the Tata Mike face, sticking his tongue out and pulling expressions that would make a cartoon character jealous. In the early days, people called him 4D or an alien because he seemed to be living in his own little world. But if you look closer, he's not an alien. He's just the most unfiltered version of a human being you will ever meet. He doesn't follow the idol manual that says you have to be polite, polished, and predictable at all times. If Taehyung is bored, you'll see it in his eyes. If he's happy, his whole boxy smile will light up the entire zip code. If he wants to grow a beard and show it to millions of people on a live stream while he's just woken up, he's gonna do it because he values being himself way more than being perfect. His genuineness is rooted in this incredible, almost childlike curiosity about the world. This is a man who will walk into a high-end art gallery in a foreign city and strike up a deep conversation with a random stranger just because he likes their hat or the way they look at a painting. He doesn't see fans and celebrities. He sees human beings. There are countless stories of him treating staff members like long-lost friends, inviting them to play games or sharing his snacks with a camera crew who hasn't eaten all day. And can we talk about his soul? Taehyung is a deep, old-school romantic at heart. While other guys his age are listening to the latest club hits, he's vibing to 1940s jazz, classical music, and soulful blues. His solo album, Layover, was the ultimate proof of his authenticity. He didn't try to make a generic pop hit. He made an album that felt like a rainy afternoon in a cozy cafe, because that's who he really is. He is Vante, the photographer who sees beauty in the mundane, the guy who will stop a whole filming schedule just to pet a stray dog or admire a pretty flower. His love for his family, especially his late grandmother, is one of the most touching and raw parts of his personality. When he opened up about her passing in front of a stadium of fans, it wasn't for sympathy, it was a moment of pure, agonizing honesty that broke the perfect idol barrier forever. He shows us that it's okay to grieve, it's okay to be different, and it's okay to march to the beat of your own drum, even if that drum is playing a slow jazz tempo while everyone else is on EDM. His relationship with the members is equally unique. He's the social butterfly who brings people together, but also the one who needs his quiet time to just exist. He is the king of weird humor. Whether it's his obsession with The Simpsons or the way he dances like a middle-aged man at a wedding just to make his brothers laugh, his comedy is 100% natural. He doesn't need a punchline. His existence is the comedy. He's the guy who will spend thousands of dollars on a designer coat and then get just as excited about a $2 toy from a vending machine. Staff members often mention that he's the most unpredictable member to film because you never know if he's going to give you a brooding model look or suddenly start narrating the life of a nearby pigeon. He is a free spirit in a world of cages. He's also incredibly brave with his emotions. If he feels a certain way, he says it. He doesn't hide behind a PR script. When he's on Weverse at 3 a.m. asking fans to play video games with him, he's not doing it for engagement metrics. He's doing it because he's a guy who's a little lonely and wants to hang out with his friends. He treats ARMY like his actual squad, bickering with them, teasing them, and sharing his favorite music like he's just sent a link to a group chat. That level of transparency is rare and honestly a bit terrifying for a management company, but for us, it's the most refreshing thing in the world. He is the definition of cool without trying and deep without being pretentious. He is a man of many layers. The fierce performer with the growling voice, the sensitive artist with the film camera, and the hilarious goofball who can't help but be his true whimsical self. To know Kim Taehyung is to know that you don't have to fit into a box to be loved by the world. He is the soul of BTS's artistic freedom, the one who reminds us all that being normal is overrated and being genuine is the ultimate superpower. Whether he's walking the red carpet at the Grammys or sitting on the floor playing with his dog Yeontan, he is exactly the same person, a soulful, slightly eccentric, and deeply loving man who just wants to live a life full of art and sincerity. He is our number 2 because he is the ultimate wild card, whose heart is always visible, no matter how many lenses are pointed at him.
Number 1. The Eternal Maknae, Golden Everything. And here we are at the absolute summit, the crowning glory of our list. And really, was there ever any doubt about who would take the top spot? We're talking about the man who literally grew up with the entire world watching his every move, the Golden Maknae, Jungkook. Now, let's set the scene. Imagine being a 13-year-old kid from Busan, packing a single bag and moving to the concrete jungle of Seoul because you saw a rapper named RM and thought he was the coolest person on earth. Jungkook turned down 7 of the biggest entertainment agencies in Korea just to join a tiny, struggling company because he followed his gut. That right there is the first spark of the absolute, unfiltered genuineness that defines him. For over a decade, we have watched this boy transform into a global powerhouse who can sell out stadiums, perform at the World Cup, and dominate the Billboard charts like it's a hobby. But here's the kicker that makes him our number 1. Despite being one of the most famous humans to ever walk this planet, Jungkook has the celebrity ego of a literal potato. He is arguably the most celebrity in existence. Think about those legendary Weverse live streams that go on for 4, 5, or even 6 hours in the middle of the night. While other superstars are out at exclusive parties or curated events, Jungkook is in his kitchen, wearing a wrinkled t-shirt, washing his dishes, folding his laundry. Yes, we literally watched the world's biggest pop star fold his underwear on a live stream, and singing karaoke for millions of people just because he's a little bored and misses his fans. He doesn't have a script, he doesn't have a manager standing behind the camera, and he definitely doesn't care if his hair is a mess or if he accidentally falls asleep while the camera is still rolling. That level of transparency is unheard of in an industry built on carefully managed perfection. His genuineness is so raw, it's almost hilarious. Remember the Downy incident? The man accidentally crashed the supply chain of a laundry detergent just by mentioning he liked the smell. Or the time he sold out kombucha just by drinking it during a chat. He doesn't do sponsored content, he just lives his life and the world follows. But let's dive into the emotional core of Jungkook.
His brothers, the 6 other members, literally raised him. He often says, "I am a manifestation of all my hyungs," and you can see it in everything he does. He has Namjoon's brain, Jin's wit, Suga's drive, Hobi's discipline, Jimin's kindness, and V's soul. But the golden part of him is entirely his own. He is a perfectionist who can do anything. Boxing, painting, filmmaking, dancing, gaming, you name it, he's probably the best at it within 10 minutes of trying. Yet, he is the most humble person in the room. There are endless testimonials from award show staff and security guards who describe Jungkook as the guy who stays behind to pick up trash on the floor, or the one who helps the camera crew move heavy equipment. He doesn't do it for the cameras. Half the time, the cameras aren't even on him. He does it because he genuinely sees himself as a person first and a star second. His tattoos are another huge part of his true personality reveal. In a conservative industry where tattoos were often seen as taboo, Jungkook covered his arm in art that represents his journey, his fans, army, and his beliefs. It was a bold, genuine statement of, "This is who I am, take it or leave it." And can we talk about his Bambi eyes? Even as a grown man with a physique that looks like it was chiseled by a Greek god, he still has that same wide-eyed, innocent look he had in 2013. He feels things with an intensity that is rare. When his hyungs are sad, he cries harder than they do. His solo song, Begin, is literally a love letter to the members, saying his pain is only when they are in pain. That is the kind of empathy you just can't fake. Whether he's standing on a global stage in Qatar or sitting on his floor eating ramen at 3 a.m. while talking to a billion-dollar audience like they're his best friends, Jungkook is the same person. He is a golden soul who has managed to keep his heart pure in a world that tries to harden everyone. He doesn't use a filter, emotionally or literally, and that is why he is the most genuine member of BTS. He is the eternal student, the tireless performer, and the chaotic little brother who will forever be the heart and soul of the group. He proves that you can reach the very top of the world and still be a kind, polite kid who just wants to sing his heart out and make sure everyone else is okay. He is the ultimate golden standard of what it means to be a human being in the spotlight. Boom! And that concludes our countdown of the most genuine legends of Bangtan. And there you have it, the absolute mic drop moment of the century. We've journeyed through the clumsy genius of Namjoon, the selfless humor of Jin, the silent warmth of Suga, the disciplined sunshine of J-Hope, the angelic perfectionism of Jimin, the soulful freedom of V, and the raw transparency of our golden maknae, Jungkook. What did we learn? We learned that BTS isn't just a group of 7 talented guys who happen to get lucky. They are a chaotic, beautiful, and deeply human family that has managed to do the impossible, stay completely real while the entire world was trying to turn them into statues. It's honestly mind-blowing when you think about it. In an industry that's basically a factory for perfect images, these 7 legends chose to show us their scars, their tears, their dad jokes, and their burnt toast moments. They didn't just give us music, they gave us a mirror to our own lives, proving that you can be a global icon and still lose your phone every 5 minutes, or feel like you're not good enough even when you're literally at the top of the mountain. That is the secret sauce, the magic DNA that makes the Purple Ocean stay lit year after year. It's not about the flawless choreography, though let's be real, that's pretty cool too. It's about the fact that when the stage lights go dark, they are still those same 7 kids from Korea who just want to eat good food and make their hyungs laugh. They are the ultimate proof that authenticity isn't about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to be messy in front of millions. So, next time you see them on a screen, remember the stories we've uncovered today. Remember the dance captain who demands perfection but gives his heart, the savage producer who writes songs to save souls, and the leader who breaks glasses but builds bridges. These aren't just idols, they are the most genuine group of best friends to ever grace a stage, and honestly, we're just lucky to be living in the same timeline as them. Whether they're winning Grammys or bickering over a game of rock, paper, scissors in a hotel room, they are consistently, unapologetically, and hilariously BTS. The journey doesn't end here because as long as they stay this real, the world will never stop watching. So keep your eyes peeled, your light sticks charged, and your hearts open because the Bangtan story is far from over, and the best is truly yet to come. Stay curious, stay purple, and most importantly, stay as genuine as the 7 legends we just celebrated. We are out!